Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome to Life on a Bike with me, Andy. Welcome to round 3, and it's Redline Rally. It's race 6, which is a scratch race, and I like a scratch race. That means it's all down to the finish line. Doesn't matter what happens in between. Whoever crosses the finish line first wins the race. Yeah. Greatest London Loop is where we are today. It's 16.2 miles, and as you can see, it's fairly flat until you get to about 8.5 miles, at which point we hit Leith Hill, which is 3.74 miles long, and it's at 4%, so not terribly steep, but it's still going to offer some problems, and this is where all the attacks will happen. After that, it's all downhill to the finish line, so this is going to be quite a fast one, and as you can tell in the top left hand corner, I'm all in red already, averaging 311 watts, which is well over my threshold, and I'm not finding it hard. It's just a bit tough going. Zwift races are always hard to begin with. Everyone just goes like stink right from the word go. And this is no different. 300 watts, and we're going over the start. There we go. So it's all start, and I've got myself a feather bonus. Excuse me, boost, should say, not bonus, boost. There I am in the bottom left in all my blubbery glory. Unfortunately, I didn't put the lights on, which is probably a good thing for you. And it was all a bit rushed, shall we say. My preparation for this race wasn't the best. It was just all wrong. Let's just say that my life as a taxi has improved with my 16-year-old daughter, and I only just got back in time to get on the saddle, get changed, and let's go, and I realised that actually the camera I'm filming on had no batteries left. Wow, who'd have thought? So I had to improvise and do something else. So it's all looking a bit crap on that side. So my apologies, but like I said, it's probably not a bad thing. So you don't see the full expanse of my blubbery glory. Anyway, excuse me, I've digressed slightly. So I am now 41st out of 64 people or thereabouts. Basically, I'm in the main group, which is where I want to be. My plan on this course is to try and make it to the actual climb with the lead group. That's my plan. Will it happen? Who knows? I'm kind of hoping so. I took a little micro breather there, try and recover. I'm not doing too badly though, even though my average power is pretty high, 280. It's all, if you look on the bottom left, it's all sort of reds and oranges. It's hard going, but I'm a stickler for punishment. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to hang on in there, and I'm doing all right. I can see a lot of my teammates. I think there were 4 of us all together in this race. Excuse me, do beg your pardon. And we were doing all right. Basically, it's fairly straightforward. It's fairly flat. I'm saying it's fairly flat. There's a couple of rises, but it's nothing too much to write home about. It's flat, but it's a nice course. I was finding it a little bit difficult. My heart rate's up to 150, so it's not that bad. But I was quite chuffed with the fact that it's all now sensibly slowing down. To be fair, as you can see, bottom left, I've got a few yellows and a bit of green even. So it's all kind of steadying down, slowing down a little bit. Everyone's, they've got out the gate, and they've all found their position. They've just gone off like stink, and now it's all chilling a bit. Just a bit, not that much. We're all one big blob, which is nice. Now I'm using my trusty Canyon Aero again, which I absolutely love. It's maxed out to the hilt, and I've got my NV 4.5 Pros on. So yes, and I've also got my Aero Slick socks. I do like white socks, white shoes, and a white helmet. got to be honest, it's looking good. So it's a lot of people are still using these specialised tarmacs. I'm not 100% convinced, but I'm going to look into it a bit more. I'm saving my pennies. I'm nearly at 1,200,000, so I've got about 500,000 to go, and then I might buy one. Don't know. I'm still umming and ahhing. But they do seem to be nice. Now, what am I was stopping there a little bit is because I was going downhill, so a little micro break, try and recover. Here is a small riser. So this riser here, I mean, we have quite a few of these, but it's basically still flat, Now, do I use my feather? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm not sure when I'm going to get another boost. But I've got to try and stay with this pack, so if I need to use it, I'll use it. I'm at 400 watts, and it's hard work, although my heart rate's not doing too bad. Yep, there we go. I'm using it because I can see the group sort of distancing themselves slightly. There was a bit of a gap going on, so what I didn't want to do was to lose the group before the climb. So it's all very well and good saving it for the climb, but I've got to get to the climb with them. So yeah, that was my strategy on that one. Let's just get there. So we'll use it now, and hopefully we'll be fine when we actually get there. So I'm hanging on at the back, and that's fine with me. I'm not the last person. As you can see, top right hand corner, you can see on the mini map, there's quite a few blue dots behind me. I'm 34th position, and so I'm doing all right actually. I seem to be improving. I don't know what I'm doing. I am losing weight, which is a good thing, and I'm improving power wise, but I'm not doing anything specific. Maybe it's just my time. The dark days have gone, and here comes the light, as it were. The only issue, I wish we could have steering on this, because I would position myself. There are a few times on this race where my position wasn't the best, but I could do nothing about it. Here is one. I'm sort of out on the side, although we're turning right, so to be fair, it's not a bad position, but there were quite a few times where I was out on the side and I was catching the wind, so I'm out the saddle as well, so we're going uphill a little bit. I think what I'm trying to do on this race is a lower tempo, as it were. Excuse me. So turning the pedals a little bit slower, rather than doing my sort of 85-90 revolutions a minute. I was trying to stick to sort of 60 to 70, but use more torque, a bit more power, just to try and, I don't know, survive longer maybe, to try and relax as much as I can do up to the climbs, just so I can see how far I can actually go. And that's the difficult thing, it's learning how, as you're riding the bike, to try and relax as much as you can, relax your posture, and to use different muscle groups in your legs so that other muscle groups can recover. And this is something I try and do all the time, which is, I don't when I pedal, my pedal stroke isn't all the way around. It sort of scrapes along at the bottom, so I sort of start at, I'm just looking at my clock now, I start the downward push, if you like, at sort of 2 o'clock, maybe 2 to 3, and then I push all the way down and scrape through, and probably finish at about, what time is that? That's about 7 or 8. So it's that kind of thing, and as my 7 and 8 stroke goes up, the other foot is starting to go down at the 2 and the 3. So it's so they compensate. And sometimes if I'm finding it really hard pushing down, I'll start to use my hamstrings and I'll pull up a bit more, just to give my quads a bit of a rest, and vice versa. So, depending on what you're doing at the time, will depend on how my pedal stroke is going to go, and also the position in the saddle can alter quite a lot, really, to give different muscle groups a bit of a rest. So,
you going in?
but the main thing is focus. Is always focusing. Being aware of what's going on in the race, and then being aware of what's going on with your body. Not that it looks like it. It looks like I'm just a big sweaty blubbery mess, which I kind of am. But I am mentally always thinking about these sort of things. Position of my hands, position on the saddle.
Okay. Just in case you can't get off.
Which muscles to use in my legs to try and give me a bit of a break. So that's just the way I do it. You can do it whichever way you want. Please comment below to let me know what your, not your secret, but what your technique is to see you through these races. So right, where are we? We're 4.3 miles. I'm still with the group. It's nearly 11 minutes, and I'm feeling quite chuffed, I think, at this moment. My heart rate's 150, so I'm not finding it too bad now. It is a lot of reds and oranges. The average is 274 watts, so that's pretty high for me.
Please, I don't have to worry about it.
I think on a decent race I can sort of do about 260 watts. Weighted average and that's on Strava. So when I look at Strava's data, it will tell you the weighted average power, and that's what I will go with, because I think that is the most accurate. It's a little bit different from this weighted power, but this is the average weighted power on Zwift is probably the most accurate, but it's a little bit different to Strava. So I will always look at Strava and take that data to compare with other races to see how I'm getting on, see if I'm improving or not. So I can generally do about 260 on a good day. See there, right there, I was on the left hand side of the group, and I was suddenly out in the wind. I hope it wasn't raining. I'd need a jacket on if it was. So if I had steering, I'd be a little bit more. There you go, it's doing it again. I'd be a little bit more in the centre. So because the steering doesn't work on this race, it's disabled. What I would have to do is to basically sort of slow down or speed up. Now, if you're out on the side and towards the front, you don't want to speed up. So I'd have to slow down until Zwift sort of shoves me in a little bit, so I go sort of fall behind someone else. So it's a bit of jiggery pokery with placement, and it's not ideal. Had I had a steering, if the steering was activated, I'd just steer right until I moved. So, but there you go, bit of a pain. Having a look at the data on the bottom, along the bottom of the graph, there's a lot of greens now, and there's even some blues. So things are starting to calm down quite a lot, and I think people at this stage are thinking it's all going to happen on the climb. Let's just not relax, but let's just take it steady and not be too silly until the climb itself, and then all hell will break loose, I'm sure. Up the climb and then down the climb, and I will see how far I can go. I'll probably say sayonara to everyone at the foot of the climb, but I will do my thing. So anyway, I'll leave you to it. I'm going to speed things up a bit, and I'll see you at the bottom of the climb. Okay, so I hope you liked that musical interlude. We're now at the base of the climb. You can see it in front. We're on, although we're going downhill right now, which is the blue. In the top centre, there we go. We're hitting the hill. So this is Leith Hill, 3.74 miles in total, and that takes us all the way to the top. Now, someone already has used their feather. I don't have one, so I'm just going to have to survive as best I can. Now, excuse me, it's already at 8.7. It does go up steeply, but it also shallow. It goes a little bit shallow because you can see some yellows and blues at the top centre. So it's not all the same gradient. I'm pulling 310 watts or so, I'm finding it hard, and now the gaps are forming. I'm not last, I haven't been dropped first, but the lead group is now starting to pull away, which is what I thought would happen. It doesn't take long, and at the end of the day, I made it to the climb with the group. So that's 20 minutes with the group, the main group, 260 watts average. Now they're pulling away, and in fairness, there's not a lot I can do. Heart rate's up to 162. I'm pulling nearly 300 watts, and I'm in the red, as you can see. All at the bottom, the graph is all red, and look at the peloton. It's completely strung out, gaps everywhere, everyone's falling apart. There's a group at the front of the more powerful riders, and everyone else is just getting spat out the back, just like me. But that's okay. So what I'm now going to do is to pace myself. I don't want to lose any of these guys. This line of guys in front of me, or girls in front of me, I don't want to lose them too much. So I'm going to try and at least stay with them. Now there is a little group forming here around me. I'm going to try and follow that red one if I can, because there's a little group forming just in front of us. So I'm now trying to chase this guy in red, hoping he's going to be the carrot to my donkey, and he's going to just bring me up to some of the others, which he is doing, and hopefully at some point, although I'm trying to pace myself because this is a long climb, for me this is going to be almost like a 20-minute climb, 19-20 minutes. I need to try and get into a group so that on the way down, well, it's easier in a group, isn't it? Unfortunately, I couldn't stay with him, so I'm going to try and go with the group behind me. So there's excuse me. So we've got a 1, 2, 3. We've got like 2 people behind me. There's one. There's a Ratty, and then there's a Dockrell, whoever that is, and then there's a green 6 seconds, 7 seconds back. So excuse me. I'm not going to give up. I am going to try and try and get hold of these guys, because there's a T Richards who's just a second, and a Smith who's just a second. So if I in front of me, so if I can just keep going and try and get onto their wheel, going up with a group is a lot better than going up solo. It just gives you something to focus on. You can follow a wheel because they're all more powerful than I am, and if you can just follow those wheels, you'll be able to push yourself harder and further. So I'm behind Ratty. Obviously the others are still gone ahead, but we're not going to give up, and that's the key, I think, in cycle racing, is don't give up, because you don't know what the other people in front of you are gonna do, because they all might slow down. Now these 2 guys, Ratty and Dockrell, I'm going to try and stay with them. The group in front, I'm hoping, for whatever reason, will just sort of slow down a little bit. It's 2.9%, 3% gradient now, so it's not terribly difficult, and it's soon going to go into the red. So I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I'm going to catch them up. I'm certainly going to keep hold of these 2 guys. Now, something I did notice is in the group in front at 4 seconds, there's a gentleman called Jay Pierce with the TBG team. Now, that's John. and I know John personally. Excuse me. We go cycling together. We're part of the ABR team, and we go cycling on a Sunday when the weather's nice, and and we can be bothered to go out. Well, I say me. And John's a really nice guy, but I think he's going to be quite surprised the fact that I am sort of kind of catching up with him, because he would normally be way ahead of me. He's more powerful, he's lighter, he's a better cyclist than me, but I'm catching him up. So for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe he's having a bad day and I'm having a good day. So like I said, you never give up, because look, the group in front there, we're almost on them. It's one of those things. I could probably get up my saddle and sprint up to the back wheels. But if you do that, or if I did that, I probably would get spat off the back of them very quickly, because I just burned too many matches. And it's I need to try and pace myself. I'm a bit more like Miguel Indurain, for those who are old enough to remember. He was a good climber and he was a good time trialist, but he could, not that I am, but he couldn't get out the saddle and sprint and sort of attack on a climb like a pure climber could. Excuse me. A pure climber will again and again and again just keep attacking, and obviously they're going to hurt, but they'll keep doing it. Whereas Indurain or myself, we sort of rather than attack, we will increase the power and speed gently and pace ourselves back. That's what I am like. So just call me Miguel Indurain, rather than Delgado. But I am showing my age, because Indurain was a tour winner, the first one to get 5 in a row actually, but that was back in the 90s. So yeah, anyway, I digress slightly there. So we are now catching them up. I mean, look at this. John's there, and I'm only 2 seconds ahead. We're going on a flat bit now, and I'm desperately trying to get up to them, and I'm thinking, yes, I've made it. Now, pay attention to this, because John, bless him, there's John to the side of me now, and I'm going, hey John, how you doing? And I think John has realised I've just caught him, and he's probably thinking to himself, oh, for fuck's sake, Andy's caught me, what's going on? I'm not putting up with this. I'm gonna go. So you can now see that John has just fucked off the front, and is gone. I don't know if it's in a strop or if he didn't notice me. I think he probably did, and thought, I can't be having this. I can't be having Andy catch me. So he's buggered off. I know, and he's now way off. Into the distance, and that's where he will stay. I don't see him again. I saw him just a little bit, enough to look to my left and say, hey, sup John, I caught you. And John looked to his right and said, see you later mate, and he fucked off. So anyway, now then, this is the steep part of the climb coming up. We're on the flatty bit, and now the steep part is coming up. I obviously haven't got the strength to go with John. My heart rate's at 165, and I'm going through all the gears to try and find a nice sensible one. Now I'm only pulling 200 watts or so here, so it's obvious to me when your heart rate's up and you're not pulling a lot of watts, you're a bit tired. I've obviously burnt quite a few matches just trying to get to this position, so now we're going to hit the really steep part of the climb. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Well, I do, because obviously I'm voicing over the actual race post race, so I do know what happens, but I'm going to tell you, because that would ruin the surprise. Boom. Anyway, that's not the surprise, but it might have been. So I am now really trying to stay with these guys. It's climbing, it's going uphill, and I'm starting to suffer. Heart rate's up to 166, so it's creeping up to 170. And as soon as it gets to 170, I know that things are getting hard. I'm not sure where John is, actually. I've sort of missed him. I think he's properly gone off into the distance. I think that's it. I don't see him again. I'm just going to hang on to this group. I am trying really hard. I mean, look at my face. Look at the face. Only a mother could love. I mean, it looks horrendous. Hideous. I should have had my bra on. But, what can you do? And look at the graph. The graph, the elevation, and the top centre is all red. So we're up for a bit of a hard battle here. I am dangling off the back and trying desperately to hold on. With all these butterflies flapping about around me, it's putting me off. I might be swallowing a bug or two, I don't know. Fortunately though, I don't crash, but I'm just trying to hold on to this little group, because I know if I can get to the top of this climb with this group, I know that I will be able to stay with them. And I'm not a bad sprinter. To be fair, I'm going to be so cooked after this one, I'm not sure if I can actually sprint, but I'd certainly give it a good go. I know that once I get to the top of the climb, whoever I'm with, I will stay with them. So this is my strategy. Just try and hang on with these guys, because behind me, you got Dockrell, who I was with for a while. He's now second behind Parron. He's 4 seconds behind. Green's 38, so he's gone. And it looks as if I may be going as well. I'm dangling off the back. What the hell's going on? I just can't do it. My heart rate is now up to almost 170. So I think this is it for me. I've lost contact with the group. And I think I'll probably resign myself. Well, I'm going to try and keep up with this guy, Dockrell. I think I'll basically resign myself to the fact that I've just been dropped now, and that's it. Because all I can see is the pain. All I can sense is the pain of me trying to hang on, trying to follow this guy in green, Dockrell, and then looking at the elevation in the top centre, and it's all red and it's all uphill, and it's all 8%, 9%, 10%, and there's even some flashing stuff on there, which means it's like over 10%. It's not pretty, and I'm thinking, I can't just keep getting out the saddle, killing myself, because I'm gonna blow my legs off. So I've got to pace myself. And that's important, to know your limits and pace yourself. There's no point in blowing your guns off, blowing yourself apart, and then not actually getting to the finish line. Although that wouldn't happen, I would, but it would just be ridiculously slow. So you've got to be sensible. You've got to pace yourself, and it's a bit of an art, knowing how hard to go. That's what she said, and how to pace yourself, when to dig in, when to go hard, and then when to sort of sit back and take it easy, when to lift the towel up and take your glasses off and wipe the sweat from your bald head. It's all a learning game. It's all strategy and. Oh, I've got windy pops. I do beg your pardon. So, look, I'm going to let you watch this climb for a little bit. I'm going to speed up a little bit, and I'll see you on the other side. Sayonara. Okay, so we are now back live. No, we're not. Look, we've gone up the climb. We've gone down. I got separated. I now am chasing down this guy called Ratty Dockrell. Couldn't catch him. He was 17 seconds in front with White and Richards. And then there's a guy, Parent, who is 3 seconds behind me. Now he's the one I'm worried about. I'm going to try and stay away from him. He's now 4 seconds. Ratty I'm going to try and catch, but you know, we're all going about the same kind of speed. So my main goal here is just to stay away from Parent and come in at 44th place. Now 44th for me is pretty good. It's out of 66 people started this race. Whoever finishes, I don't know. However many finished, I don't know. But for me to come in the top 40, that's good, you know. And I'm impressed with that. I'm happy with that. My average power at the moment is 265 watts, and again, that's good for me. To do around 260 is a good thing. It's a hard race. My heart rate is up to 170, so I am now trying. I'm trying to stay away from Parent, and I'm trying to catch Ratty. Ratty I'm not going to catch because he's now 7 seconds in front, and he's about the same power as me. Parent's going away though, or I'm going away from Parent, so I'm comfortable that he's not going to catch me because there's only half a mile left. So look, there goes my featherweight bonus booster, should say. There's no reason for it. I'm just trying to use it. I don't know. But it's been a good race. It's been hard, but it's good. I managed to stay with the main group up to the base of the climb, and I caught John up on much to his disgust, I'm sure, on the climb, just before he buggered off and showed me what he can actually do and how much better than he is to me. So fair play. What can you do? But look, I've done all right, so I'm quite happy with the way I've been on this race. Now this is the last race. It's race number 6. As far as the club went with round 3, I can't remember where we came. I think we were sort of halfway. We're mid pack, if you like, halfway. So nothing too outrageous. Excuse me. We certainly didn't win any races. I'm not going to win any races for a long time. But next weekend or Tuesday, I'm going to, because these happen on Tuesdays, I'm going to do another race. It won't be the ZRL racing, but it'll be something else, and I'll choose a race, and I'll record that, and we'll go from there. So I hope you enjoyed it. I did, and it was good fun. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and leave a comment below, and hit that icon, the little bell icon, so you'll get notifications of the next video that comes out. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.